Hyatt Zilara Jamaica Rose Hall, Montego Bay. I had such an unexpectedly amazing time at Hyatt Zilara in Punta Cana. I had to come and see what the Jamaican version was like. How does this island do things in terms of Hyatt Zilara? I will tell you immediately, although this property certainly has Zilara DNA, it is much different. Polar opposites of the one in Punta Cana. So I got here today around 3 p.m. I went to the main desk and they immediately shooed me away. And they said I had to go to the special Hyatt members check-in. And I'm Hyatt scrub level. But they still sent me over there, and it was great to have more of a personalized upscale check-in. I had a World of Hyatt drink, which was absolutely incredibly beautiful and refreshing. It was exactly what I needed. And then one thing I really liked is that the ladies there, the concierges, they took the gumption, they had the ambition, they had the gall and audacity to set up all my reservations for me ahead of time. And I actually like that. Just in case some of the restaurants aren't available or there's some restaurants I really need to check out, they would know. And at least if I get on the reservation list, I can always change them later. So that is one thing I really liked. Let's dive right into it. This is the cheapest room available. I believe this is like a junior suite. I believe, I'll put the stats up on the screen. It's a little disappointing in terms of size. All elite luxury rooms, and Hyatt Zilara is an elite brand. They should be 600 square feet or more. That's the baseline. This is coming in at a paltry $494, so it's almost 20% less than what it should be. The saving grace is that the balcony is not that big, and I think sometimes the rooms count the balcony as part of the square footage. So when you look around the room, even though it is a little smaller for a luxury room, it doesn't feel small because it is a completely open space. And when you're in the center here, everything is wide open and you have everything at your disposal. So it's a really easy place in terms of modality, maneuvering around. Bathroom, ensconced in marble. It is a marble party in there, marble floors, marble vanity, marble backsplash, marble in the water closet. I will say the bath was a little disappointing. It makes me think that this was not always a Hyatt Zilara property, because usually when I stay at a Zilara, you'd see a jacuzzi, if not inside, outside. So that seems kind of like a relic. Two people who want to get romantic are definitely not going to get romantic there. But split vanity, again, marble sinks, convenience products right in front of you in case you left something at home. Off the left, you have a water closet with a nice heavy door that's great for extra privacy. And then again, the rain head shower where you are ensconced in marble. As you walk out, you hit the minibar. It is fully stocked. It is overstocked. It's as stocked as stock can get, but I'm saying that a little tongue-in-cheek because it is the smallest refrigerator I've ever seen. It doesn't take much to stock it. They definitely overfilled on waters, which is the most important thing, Coca-Cola products, and then my favorite wasn't even in the minibar, it was on top. It was the Jamaican coffee and the snacks. The bed is one of the absolute best. Mount Rushmore for sure in terms of all-inclusive beds I've ever experienced. It's the combination of the bedding and the mattress. I'd even go outside of the all-inclusive realm, just all the resorts in general. Oh man, it's glorious. If I was here, not as your travel Labrador, but as a civilian, I would be spending all day and night there. The balcony is the piece de resistance. I'm all the way up here on floor number 5. That's the penthouse level. I have overview over the entire property. I have a giant palm, which gives me the utmost in privacy. Basically, I can see everybody and everything, and they can't see me. It's very classical with the columns and the banister, simple seating out there. I did originally book a garden view, but they upgraded me to this. I prefer a quiet room actually, but I will say that this is absolutely an upgrade in aesthetics. That's basically it. Well, not really. I did a full room tour where I go over the rest of everything and also talk about some of the attractions and detractions. This room certainly has pros and cons. I also reveal what I paid for this property. I paid half of what I paid at Hyatt Zilara Punta Cana. This price is so insane that I was actually going to cancel this trip, and I ran an ROI analysis and then ran that through ChatGPT, And ChatGPT said 99 to 1, you have to come because you'll never see this price again. So if you're wondering how I get my prices, or if you just basically want my prices, what to pay, when to pay, peak season, off season, what's a good deal, you can check out my website. Over 160 hotels there for Punta Cana and Cancun. Jamaica list coming soon. So we are fast forwarding 24 hours in the video. We are time traveling today. I will explain why in just a moment. I am compelled to start with the Italian restaurant from last night. The Italian restaurant, and the first restaurant of the all-inclusive, they always set the tone for how good the food is going to be, especially the Italian restaurant. It just always seems to be a barometer. And last night was a step in the right direction. I had a great meal. I like the elevated seating. More coupley, romantic up top, more family, social on the main floor. I particularly like the birdcage chairs that were at some of the tables, only at some, which I really liked because it made it feel like some of the seating was more exclusive. Anchoring the entire restaurant was a person firing pizzas all night, and they have two sizes of pizzas available. They have a 4-inch and a 12-inch. A 4-inch seems like a cracker. Doesn't even seem like an actual pizza, but that's what I ordered because I ordered a full meal and I did not want to put myself in debt calorically. And they made a mistake. They actually brought out a 12-inch pizza. And I was so jubilant, I was so excited that I forgot to document the entire thing. That's how much you know I love pizza. Overall, the meal was, like I said, it was a great start. Lasagna as a main entree was delicious. And then the carpaccio, much like the Italian restaurant, always sets the tone for the meal, and that was just as tasty as the lasagna. So sometimes I need a day off, whether I need to work, like edit, or whatever else, if I need to settle, organize, rest, relax, decompress, all the above. And I was going to do that today. Today is Thursday. And when I stay at an all-inclusive for 4 or 5 nights, I can afford to do that. I can afford to take one full day and night off. But I can't do that tonight in good conscience. I want to, but I can't because I have a reservation upcoming at the only restaurant on the Zilara side. There's only one. For dining, Zilara is heavily dependent upon neighboring Ziva, which I don't like. And then after that, there's a Jamaican festival over at Ziva. And how could I miss the Jamaican festival at Zilara Ziva and put out quality content? I can't. So what turned out to be double duty was once a night off. The meal was delectable. Meal of the trip so far. The pork belly was so soft and tender you could cut it with a spoon. In fact, you could cut it with a hammer if you had to. The lamb was cooked perfectly, and then that dessert, wow. I was flooded with dopamine at first spoonful. I could immediately taste how delectable and divine and decadent it was. I didn't finish it on purpose because it was too delicious. I knew the work I had to put in tomorrow morning, and I can't do it. The night continues. I'm off to the Ziva side for the Jamaican festival, more food and hopefully more fun. Got the Presidente light in hand. I like these little silver bullets, very pocketable, very portable. Look at this weather. Best day in Jamaica up until this point. There will be no more food for a while. We've had enough of that. I will touch on it very quickly though. I'm really glad I went over there. The Jamaican bonanza, whatever it was, the food was amazing. Genuine, fresh. I like the experiential standpoint where they prepared it right in front of you. Fish, steak, chicken, pork. That dessert spread was insane. They had pistachio ice cream with gummy bears and gummy worms that brought out the inner 6-year-old in me. I was so excited. It intermingled well with the overall night. It was kind of lining the perimeter of the property, so it didn't take away from the show at all. In fact, you could kind of have dinner and a show together. And the show was really entertaining. It was also informative. They had narration in between, talked about the origins of Jamaica, even like pre-Jamaica, Africa. They talked about Rasta, reggae, the nationalism of the country. The dancers were really talented. I enjoyed my night. Closing thought before I get onto the beach and to the pool, I just want to say this property is illuminated beautifully at night. It is illustrious with the string lights and the fire pits, the pools, the gazebos, the awnings, just the overall way it is illuminated. It is breathtaking. I saw a couple way off into yonder as I was walking back, and I couldn't help but have a moment for their moment. They were really young, overlooking the ocean, and to have such a cool experience at a property like this at a young age, and potentially a lot more upcoming, it made me really excited for them from a bystander perspective. So anyway, enough of that sentimental stuff. Beach, pool, and who knows what else. So by default, I think this is the best Jamaican beach I've seen up until this point. And that's because I haven't been in the grill. I've only been in Montego Bay. And all Montego Bay beaches are essentially the same version of this. This is just the best iteration I have seen. They're all small, they're cove-like. I think this one is actually man-made, but it's brilliant because they got riprap or rocks out in the middle that breaks up the wave action. So if a wave does even make it through, it's extremely gentle. The water is placid. It's warm, it's refreshing, it's beautiful, crystal clear. Even though it is man-made, it's kind of rustic in feeling. It's got stones and logs and debris, so it doesn't feel like it's completely synthetic. It's intimate, but more than enough seating for everybody on property. The pool definitely seems to be where the action is, but if you want to have a full day or two at the beach, you definitely can do that here at Hyatt Zilara. Just as the pool was peaking today, just when the vibe was about to hit maximum awesomeness, the clouds came in and they were swift and they were brutal. Killed the entire afternoon. The crowd dispersed immediately. Kind of a buzzkill, but do not fret. Your travel Labrador will never let you down. Tomorrow is a brand new day. There's a day party at the adults only pool, which I'm going to do rain or shine. Tomorrow night there's a white party at the beach, same thing. And then after that, I'm doing the club and lounge for some late night action. Tonight there's a neon party at the pool, and before that I'm off to dinner at the Asian restaurant. I've been told it's not hibachi, you know how much I despise it, but also I've been told it's a seating of 18 people. Not sure what to think. Positive vibes, heading over there to check it out. What was that? What the f was that? Yakitori? Yakitori is not a dining style. Yakitori is an appetizer. Satori, yakitori, hibachi, teppanyaki. Here's why that whole concept is flawed. You're on time. Everyone else is 15 minutes late, which means the dinner is always delayed and extended. It's you and 17 other strangers, shoulder to shoulder in a confined space. It's a limited menu. The portions are always drastically minuscule. The food is prepared in bulk, so it's not of its utmost freshness. You order in bulk, so the drinks and food take forever. The whole concept is just terrible, and tonight affirms my utter disdain for the overall, just entire concept. I am putting a 2-year ban on hibachi and teppanyaki on the channel, and it's close to permaban. I did everything I could to at least try to salvage the night. An hour and 20 minutes later, I tipped the waiter an extra like $4. I got a potent Bob Marley, and at least I walked out of there with a little bit of a buzz. Definitely not playing around today. I got the blue Adidas on. I have not rocked these since my Iberostar Selection Coral Cancun video. One of my favorite videos of all time. Hit a button, say something if you like that one. No time to waste today. The sun has been absent this entire time, all morning, all afternoon. It's 2 p.m. I'm headed down there for the rave party in 1 hour. I'm gonna go pregame right now, maybe get some food and who knows what else. Very quickly, neon party last night. It was better than it looked. By no means was it great or amazing, but it was better than it looked. And that's because the pool design is both brilliant and awkward. And I'll touch on that later in the video. It's my last day here at Hyatt Zilara, a huge day today, and it all starts with the pool. Yo, is Hyatt Zilara an actual vibe after all? It's on and off, it's hit or miss, but it's certainly a vibe right now. This is a condensed version of Riu Reggae. I've only been down here for like 40 minutes. It's basically continuity from yesterday, where yesterday left off. It actually is looking like it might be a repeat. The clouds are coming in, they're coming in fast, but I'm gonna tough it out. Quote unquote, tough it out. The rave's about to start here in about 25 minutes. Hyatt Zilara, Jamaica. I cannot get housekeeping in here if I paid them. Literally, I'm trying to pay them. I've left a tip every day when they do decide to show up. And I called before I left the room this afternoon. Just came back after a couple hours later and nothing. And they do offer turn down service and housekeeping basically any time of day or night. After 2 calls today, nothing. And it's unfortunate because the service besides housekeeping has been impressive, if not incredible. But housekeeping is just, I'm loathsome towards them. I'm upset. The pool today was an interesting experience. It was the rare occurrence where the pre-party was actually better than the party itself. And that's because they are one and the same, two the same, basically same coin, just different sides. Basically went from 2:59 to 3 p.m., but nothing else changed except the DJ, which I'll talk about in a second. But overall, I preferred hours 2 to 3 than 3 to 4, and that's really for 3 reasons. First of all, the clouds came in, and I think that dispersed the crowd. That's an antidote to basically a good time in the Caribbean period. Number 2, like a small puppy or a child, the crowd really had no concept of stamina or energy conservation. They basically tuckered themselves out. And then lastly, the DJ. This is a hip-hop forward crowd. I'm a hip-hop forward person. When they played Knuck If You Buck today, not only did I recognize the song immediately, I'm actually secretly hoping that it's the remix by Daz Dillinger. And then I snapped back to reality after a split second, realized that no one knows how obscure that song is. But that's what I'm secretly hoping inside. And the DJ's choices were just as obscure, but not in a good way. Not bangers, not hits, not club anthems, just an interesting selection of music. So that's why the crowd dispersed. I actually went right to the chicken stand to have my first meal of the day. And I came back up to my room to eat it, and I was locked out. I think I got my card too close to my phone, so I just went underneath the giant palm next to the love sign in that courtyard and enjoyed my lunch. It was actually a really peaceful experience. Probably the best thing about my entire day today. So I'm off to the French restaurant, then I'm off to the white party. I'm not wearing this, but I thought I'd have a little fun tonight, kind of get in the mood, get in the theme of the evening. Then after that, hopefully I have the personal stamina, we will see, for some club lounge action late night here at Hyatt Zilara, Jamaica. So the French restaurant was borderline acceptable. barely tolerable. At the price I paid, I'm not disappointed, but any higher of a price, I would be. For Ziva Zilara, should be a lot better than what it was. The lollipops saved the dinner, but that's not saying that they were great. Off to the beach party right now. There's a fire show going on. We'll check out that and more of an update later. Wow, that was unforgettable. I'm left speechless for two reasons. First of all, that is the identical fire show, the identical crew to what I saw in Moon Palace, Ocho Rios, when I was in Jamaica last time. If you watch that video, you know how I raved about that fire show. It's the best one I've ever seen. If you haven't watched that video, it's Moon Palace, Jamaica. Go watch that video. But as soon as I saw the torch, and as soon as I saw them setting up for the spectacular finale, I knew it was coming. Nobody else did. I sprinted towards the end, and of course had a front row spot to that incredible ending. It's the best fire show I've ever seen. Also, I've never seen a party come together as quickly as it did after that spectacular finale. That was an accelerant, that was a catalyst. I think it was just so awesome, like literally awesome, that people let their guard down and they flooded the dance sand. Not dance floor, dance sand. The DJ was playing dance songs, actual dance songs, like, you know, Soldier Boy, and I don't want to say country music, line dancing, but songs that have dances to them, dance songs. It was a vibe. I never saw it coming. It's moments like that that keep me inspired, and I'm not really feeling this hotel. It doesn't mean it's not great. It is, but I can't help but take that moment into account and give this hotel extra credit, because that was truly, truly marvelous. I am back in the room and back in my original outfit for this evening. Normally I would not divulge something so trivial and personal, but I wanted to say that I received housekeeping. And not just turn down service, a full housekeeping at 8:30 p.m. Paige came and saved the day. I think Hyatt Zilara is tremendously understaffed just in that one area, which makes sense because that is the most in-demand job at any resort, community, or environment. And like I also said, the service, besides housekeeping, has been impeccable up until this point. So I just wanted to mention it in the nature of authenticity. I know no other way. We're kind of at the point of diminishing returns, or no return at all, but better late than never, I guess. The club lounge was dissatisfying. I think it has potential on a certain night, but also this property is just way too large and way too fractured, with too many opportunities to do other things at 11 to 12 p.m. that I could see how that place could be dead often. After the DJ and the fire show and the white party ended, they immediately transitioned over to a silent party. I do not understand silent parties. They should be outlawed. I've never once been to an awesome party that was completely silent. But I think that's one of the reasons why the club lounge was completely empty. Also, people tend to just stroll over to the Ziva side to see what's up. And a lot of people, given Rose Hall's proximity to Montego Bay, they will go out to some local spots like Pier 1, 2727. After that, I walked over to the Jerk Hut. There is a late night Jerk Hut that I just found out about literally on the last hours of my trip. It's right in between Ziva and Zilara. And since room service ordering is $10 a charge every single time, that could have definitely saved me some money, because all I really wanted was this jerk chicken and jerk pork. Three little big things, the negatives, the positives, my ratings, and then I'm out of here. First of all, room service. Room service is going to be a $10 surcharge every time you order it, no matter if you order one thing or 50. And I'm not really sure what the limit is. I just ordered 3 things every single time, but it is a $10 surcharge. And I actually like that because it keeps the casuals away from ordering. Some people, when they know they have free room service, they just order it all the time. And I think that $10 is enough to keep the casuals away. And by doing that, I think it increases the food quality, the freshness, and just the overall efficiency of the service. So I actually liked it. You have to put down a $300 hold on your credit card when you check in here. So like 5 or 6 room services, which I did, it was really no big deal at $10 a time. Number 2, the internet. I'm not happy about this one. It is slow. It is 1999, 2000, 2001 slow. And the thing is, it's not that they're trying hard to make it fast. They actually capped it. And I get it. We're on vacation. We should disconnect, blah, blah, blah. You look outside of that Hyatt Zilara pool, every single person's taking a selfie. Every single person is talking on the phone. Every single person is making videos and TikToks. I'm here trying to do work. A slow internet connection, especially when it's limited on purpose to be cheap to save bandwidth, not cool in my book. Throughout the video, I have been alluding to this, and then I wound up finding a gentleman who walked me to dinner last night. We were going in the same direction, and he's been in Jamaica for a long time and working here for a long time. He said this used to be a Ritz Carlton, but it just used to be a Ritz Carlton. Hyatt Ziva and Hyatt Zilara bought it, and then they split it. And Zilara absolutely got the worst end of that deal. Zilara didn't get a deal at all. It's smaller, only 1 restaurant. I think there is another restaurant that's getting remodeled, but that doesn't do me any good. I'm here right now. And just 1 restaurant on the Zilara side for a hotel of this prestige and usually high price, not gonna cut it. So 3 negatives, 3 positives, and then I'm out the door. Number 1, the pool. It was overly dynamic. It was multi-dimensional with bridges, different layers of the pool, multi-infinity edges. It's actually all one unibody of water, and the tributary for the entire pool actually start out at the swim-up suites, way back off in the courtyard, and that is one of the coolest things about it. The only issue is that it's fragmented, it's disconnected, it feels uncomfortable. They did the best they could with the small amount of space they had, but it could have been done a lot better. Number 2 would be the dining. I touched on this already. Only 1 restaurant at the moment here at Hyatt Zilara is inexcusable. And then lastly is prestige. This is a far cry from the prominence and the preeminence and the prestige of what I experienced at Hyatt Zilara in Punta Cana, and even what I experienced at Hyatt Ziva in Cabo. Some of the elements in the room, the lobby, the service, the experiences, they scream Zilara. But other ones absolutely scream Riu Reggae. It's essentially the same crowd, and this is just more of an upscale version of that. So those are the negatives. What about the positives? The first one is service. The service outside of housekeeping has been incredible. The vibe, number 2. I never expected the vibe. Hyatt has made an effort the entire time. They have activities throughout the entire day and night. Number 3 would be location and affordability. Now the first one is you're not in Montego Bay, and I actually prefer being outside a little bit. I think the area is a little nicer, but if you want to go to a club or get a haircut or just go check out the hip strip, you can easily do that. And then price. And I really should say value, because price is what you pay and value is what you get. I paid half of what I paid for my room at Hyatt Zilara in Punta Cana. And for this price, I'm not disappointed at all. If I would have paid a traditional Hyatt Zilara price, the prices I'm looking at for this property upcoming later in peak season and starting next year, I would actually be disappointed. But for this price that I paid, I'm not disappointed at all. I'm still gonna rate it a 4.5. I had it down to a 4, but last night's experience definitely upticked it to a 4.5. It's undoubtedly a special hotel, but I think it's very, very price contingent. And if I would have paid a regular price or something closer to what I did at Punta Cana, I would definitely be walking out of here with a different experience.